Hey everybody, welcome back to the Carry and Cut YouTube channel. And if you're new here, we sure do appreciate you stopping by and watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and also check out our Instagram at Carry and Cut and our Patreon at Carry and Cut. Also, we sure do appreciate all your guys' support on here. All the proceeds are going to go directly back in the channel to buy new knives and new gear for us, hopefully to make the content and the quality better for you guys. So today we're going to be going over and disassembling this CJRB Pyrite. This is the alternate blade shape with the Warncliffe style blade. And we're only going to need, I think we're just going to need a T6 and a T8 to take this one apart. So we don't need the T10 actually. T6 and a T8. T8 for the pivot. T6 for the body screw and the clip screws. I think so. Make sure I'm not lying to you guys. T6, T6, and a T6 right there also. So all right, let's go ahead and let's get started taking off this pocket clip here. And just be mindful of what you're doing with your clip screws and everything when you're taking these apart. I always like to put them in the same order that I'm going to be taking them apart in. So let's go ahead and put them right in our stone change holder, I guess you could say. For now, we're going to use it as our knife holder, knife parts holder. Sometimes these CJRB clips are kind of strange and the screws get stuck in them. So we're going to go ahead and set that one right there with that one. And our body screw right here, this goes into our standoff right there, barrel spacer. I guess the that's kind of like the heck tear that I did also. The back barrel spacer goes through that pocket clip also. So this is obviously, it's going to be a button lock. So we need to be mindful of that when we are taking this knife apart. There's definitely going to be stuff that is spring actuated in here. So we need to be very careful about what we are taking apart. There we go, something just let loose in there. So let's go ahead and be really careful here. Okay, there we go. So that already came apart really fast. Our liner is holding our clip in, or not our clip, but our actual button, I'm pretty sure. It's kind of, yep. Our clip and our liner act as a, whatever you want to call it, a some kind of a stop to where your button shouldn't be able to come through. So your button is going to be sitting right through through your scale, obviously through your liner, through your scale, and then your pivot, your spring is going to be riding in the, geez, I can't talk today, sorry, in that pocket, in the your button lock. See, it's kind of got a cavity in there just like that. So it's going to sit in here, and once you depress this, it's going to push your, it's going to push the button through the pivot. It's kind of hard to explain, and that's not your pivot, but through your tang, your blade, and that's actually going to be what lets your blade fall shut. Geez, I'm sorry guys, I am all over the place right now. So there's one of our washers, and let's see here if we need to take this other side apart also. Let's go ahead and take this. I was watching a Nick Shabazz video about taking this apart, and his had another washer in there, and I am not seeing anything like that. So that must have been just a design thing that they got figured out. So that's pretty interesting. Of course, our pivot, it has definitely got a D shape to it right there. So that's going to be nice when we go back for assembly. These things are going to be a little bit tricky. They're a lot easier to take apart than they are to get put back together, I will tell you that. So if you do want to completely disassemble this knife, all you got to do is just take out the your two barrel spacers back there. It's going to come all the way apart. But really all the guts and the internals and all the important stuff we already got out of there. So we should be pretty well okay with just leaving this side on. It really wasn't too dirty. If there was a lot of grit and grime in there, then I would definitely recommend taking it all the way apart. And once again, I want to give Steven a huge shout out. This is his knife again, so we only got a couple more to go over, and then all of his knives will be done, and I'll be sending them all the way back over to him. So huge shout out to him for sending in some of his awesome knife collection for us to take a look at and keep us all entertained. So go ahead and get that one all wiped up, get it done, and also you got your stop pin right there. I didn't mention that. So there's that one. We can go ahead and get our pivot cleaned up here and get all the oils and nasties off that thing. So I don't know when the last time this one came apart. I think he said this was a birthday present from his wife, so it's very awesome to see she's supporting his knife habit also. So we gotta throw that in there. We can get our bearings, get those kind of dried off and all the gunk off them. and we can kind of go ahead and start our assembly again. So I've got some KPL right there. All of my tools and all the products that I'm using in this teardown are going to be in the description below. If you guys like to check them out, it really does help our channel out. If you want to, completely up to you. Don't feel obligated. All right, so we're going to throw that bearing right on there, just like so. Put some lube on the bearings here, get those nice and saturated up. Let's get our blade cleaned off. There's definitely a little bit of gunk inside of the race, I guess. I don't know if that's what they actually call these on knives or not. I guess it's just where your blade rides on your washers or your bearings or whatever you have on them. So normally when I think of bearing, I think of a race that it runs in. So if you guys know the exact terminology for that, feel free to let me know that I'm doing it wrong. So I really like the community we got going on. Love reading all your guys' comments and everything. It's really awesome to see all the interaction everybody's got going on there. So it's really cool to see that. You know, the knife community is one of the definitely an awesome awesome community to be a part of. So it gets kind of tricky here when you go putting this back together. Obviously it's kind of, you almost want to put the blade and the button lock together at the same time. Put it on there is pretty much what I'm getting after it. So you kind of want to, I guess it just depends on how tight the tolerances are on it. So let's go ahead and peel this back off there again real quick. Of course our washer stayed in there. We're going to go ahead and try to put our spring back in there. Come on, you darn thing. Okay, so if you can kind of see that cut out on the blade right there, if you can see that or not, somewhat. Our button lock is actually going to ride just like that in there. So see if we can kind of stab our spring in there at the same time as our button lock. Hopefully just like so. And we kind of miserably failed at that one. Always got to watch out for your blade at the same time too. Okay, there we go. All right, we got it right there. So can we, definitely not locked in. Kind of hard to see what I'm doing here with the phone in front of my face. This is definitely one of the trickier dudes you're going to be putting back together here. Sorry for the inconvenience, guys. Go ahead and try to get another stab at this. So we're going to put that right into our cutout. Definitely kind of tricky. This doesn't seem like it wants to cooperate very much with me. So it's really only that little bit. There's really not a whole lot that's making contact with the actual tang of the blade, I guess, if you want to call it that. Just kind of hard to get it all lined up in one go. See, I messed it up again right there. Darn it. I guess if they made it easy, everybody would do it, wouldn't they? Try to get this one smooth go for you guys so you can see what I'm doing, but it's just not wanting to cooperate very well with me. Did I get it right there? I think I got it right there. All right, so let's go ahead and get our KPL in there. I'm gonna put that, I guess I'm gonna call that the race again. Go ahead and install our washer back on there. Bearing, not a washer, it's a bearing. I definitely didn't do something right there. Something's a little wonky with that one. I'm sorry guys, this is going to be a little more complicated than I imagined it was going to be. How about that right there? Let's try that. All right, now we're gonna lock that down right there, like just like so. Okay, now we're in business. That was definitely a little trickier than I thought it was gonna be. So let's go ahead and let's sit just like so. Sure will. Let's go ahead and get a little bit of KPL there. Not KPL. Geez, what am I saying? A little Locktite on there. There it is. Okay. Second, I thought I was crazy that the pivot was going to be a T6, but I knew that wasn't the case. I just took the darn thing apart. Okay, so let's go ahead and run our pivot down on there. Just going to snug it up for now. And let's go ahead and throw our pocket clip screws back in there. Run our body screw on there first. Switch back to your T6. Okay, and then we're going to get onto our clip screw right here. Like I said before, these things are kind of a booger. The screws don't ever want to come out of there very good. So, and these clip screws are going to be the same exact length. So, if you guys remember the video I did before with the Hectare, the pocket clip screw broke on it as soon as I tried to take the darn thing apart. And I reached out to the warranty department, and they actually sent me a new clip and 3 new sets of screws. So that was pretty cool of them. I was definitely hating on them kind of hard for that. So they hooked me up with new screws and the new pocket clip. So that was pretty cool of them to do that. Things don't want to start in there very well. There we go. Oh. Nope, sure did not. Man, this knife is kicking my butt today. Lord. Let's try that again. Just really doesn't want to cooperate. I'm sorry it's taking so long, guys. Okay, let's try that again. Really don't understand why that thing doesn't want to start in there. All right, well, we'll come back to that one. Let's check out the action here. Let's go ahead and tighten our pivot all the way down, just snug it up, see what the action's looking like. Oh yeah, it's pretty good. Definitely just as good as it was before, which was pretty awesome action. We got perfect centering going on right there. So our detent, we definitely got everything put back together just right. Button lock works great. We got really good. See, now you guys can kind of see that when you push your button down, it's going to release that your plunge lock, and it's going to go right into the button. So that's definitely right past the blade, I guess you could say, unlocking the blade. So that's perfect. All right, guys. Sorry, that was definitely a little bit of a struggle there, but we overcame our adversities and we got that taken care of. So, all right, guys. Thanks very much. Until next time.